I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. All right, so we got a lot of things going on now. We got the fact that Kevin McCarthy has gone ahead and made it official that he's not going to give Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, or Eric Swalwell an opportunity to serve on any major committee or any committee at all, in retaliation to kicking off Paul Gosar and Marjorie Taylor Greene by Nancy Fancy San Francisco Pelosi. So those three, Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell. Swalwell needs a new name. What kind of name? I never heard anybody. The only person on the planet named Swalwell. I mean, people named Smalls, people named Wells, but Swalwell? What kind of name? He needs a new name. Then you got this Muslim woman named Ilhan Omar. Well, they're not going to be able to serve on the committees for the next 2 years. In the story, and it makes them pretty much a little bit irrelevant, except for people like, the CNN is going to have them interviewed all the time. People are going to get bored with them being interviewed, griping about the fact that they got kicked off and they can't serve. I think that McCarthy is pretty much following some of the recommendations of most of his Rules Committee people and his Oversight Committee people, because Adam Schiff was on the Intelligence Committee, and so was Eric Swalwell. And what they are attempting to do, I believe, is to try to stifle the influence. But what I'm waiting to see happen, two things. One is I want to see, I don't, not in a malicious way, want to see Donald Trump get indicted. But once he does, then the news is going to get exciting again, right? Donald Trump's indicted. He's going to love it. I mean, he's going to love it. But I heard yesterday, I don't know if y'all were watching the news yesterday, should have been down there in Atlanta, Georgia. They got this Hamite woman down there who was a district attorney for Fulton County, who was before a judge yesterday, because the grand jury has done all their deliberations. They've handed down their findings. And the news media and several other people are asking that the findings of the grand jury there in Fulton County be made public, because only the deliberations is secret. So Fannie Wills was down there in court yesterday trying to keep the judge from doing it, because she said in a statement before the court yesterday that they're future defendants. In other words, there are people that she's going to indict. And then she said something like that. I think she said that the charges are imminent. Now these are charges that stimulate from Donald Trump. Remember back during the 2020 election that Donald Trump called the Secretary of State, Brad Rassenberger, and had him on the phone like an hour and a half, and said, what I'm trying to find is 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have. And Rassenberger recorded it. So what Fannie Willis is doing now is that I think she's going to indict Trump, and I think Trump thinks the more the merrier indictment. I think, by the way, just off on the side, I'm coming back to Eric Swalwell, who needs a new name, and Adam Schiff, and Ilhan Omar, who is a part of the squad. I'll come back to them. Give me a moment. Can I come back? So what I think that, it's going to be in competition who's going to indict Trump first. But I have to tell you, man, I'm telling you now, right now, Trump, and then we got this guy up here, Alvin Bragg up here in New York City, who is now doing a reinvestigation because he got, Trump's former attorney now testifying again about hearing that prostitute that Trump was having sex with. Y'all remember her? Anyway, I don't remember. Michael Cohen is for what's that woman name? Something her. Something I forget her name now. Anyway, so where was I at? Yeah, so I think it's now a competition about who is going to indict Trump first. But Trump really wants to be indicted. I think he's bored. He went to Diamond's funeral. That wasn't too impressive. And the news media. So if he gets indicted, he's going to be back in the news again. But I think this Fannie Willis says she's not going to. Out of this, I think Rudy Tootie Giuliani is going to get indicted as well. That man, they say that somebody don't know if it's true, that Rudy is now a stumbling bum drunk. He's broke, he ain't got no money, he's a drunk, and his hair dye is running on the side of his face, Rudy Tootie Giuliani. But I think he's going to get indicted in the event down there with Fonnie Wallace. And perhaps some other people as well will go get indicted down in Georgia. So Georgia is going to be a place to watch out for. And this she's young too, this district attorney in Fulton County. She's I don't know what she looks. She's in her 40s or something, and she's the district attorney for the county. I think she's going to indict Trump. She said something the other day in court. I'll use the exact phrase. I quote her. She says charges are imminent, and she says she wants the court to conceal the findings of the grand jury because there'll be future defendants. Even after she indicts Trump, there are going to be other defendants that need to have their situation protected. So it's going to be a great season. And by the way, you need to get ready for some pretty difficult times ahead. These indictments are going to start dropping. What we to note to time to give date this message. We're in the ending of January. These indictments are going to probably start falling sometime in late March, early April, and it's going to be on when it does happen. So if Fani Willis gets her way, even if the judge rules against her, because really, what I heard the judge say on television in the news is that he really can't conceal. He can only conceal the deliberations of the grand jury. He can't conceal the findings. In other words, all of the information, all the people that were discussed, all the crimes they potentially did or did not commit, all that can be released right now from the grand jury to the public. And Fani Willis has put in a petition to stop that. But it appears to me that the judge is going to release it. And not that he's biased or something, he wants to work against her. I think the law does not support keeping that information secret. However, what Fani Willis can do is that she can, realize that the judge is bent towards release, she can start dropping indictments next month. That way, people won't have the chance to, either declare that they were ill-treated by the media or whatever it is that they. And the other thing is that if he drops the indictment or allows the grand jury findings to be made public shortly, she can then appeal that decision and try to get a stay on what's happening. So it's going to be very interesting watching all of this take place over the next few months, living in America. As we also watch the recession, we don't have time now to talk about Twitter anymore. What's Jeff Bezos doing? Any of these guys are doing. We don't have time to talk about the recession. Nobody's talking about that anymore. Nobody's seen Camelback Black Harris. We thought she had resigned her job as vice president. We don't know about her. All we're not hearing about these documents, that ugly house that Joe Biden lives in up there in Delaware.